Let me ask you something. If your car broke down tomorrow, or you lost your job next week, could you cover your bills for the next 3 months without touching a credit card or borrowing money from family? If you hesitated, you're not alone. Most people are one emergency away from serious financial stress. And that's exactly what we're fixing today. I'm going to break down exactly what an emergency fund is, why it's the single most important financial cushion you'll ever build, and how you can start one, even if you're living paycheck to paycheck right now. Stick with me because by the end of this, you'll know exactly what to do. Now here's the thing, knowing what an emergency fund is won't protect you. Actually building one will, and in my next video, I'm breaking down the exact step-by-step system to build yours fast, even on a tight budget. So if you don't want to miss that, hit subscribe right now, turn on that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Let's build your financial safety net together. Alright, let's talk about the first thing you absolutely need to understand: what an emergency fund actually is. And I promise you, once this clicks, you'll never look at your savings the same way again. So here's the simplest way I can put it: an emergency fund is money you set aside specifically for the stuff you didn't see coming. Not the stuff you planned for. Not the stuff you wanted. The stuff that just happens. Think about it like this. Your car breaks down out of nowhere, and the mechanic says it's going to cost $800 to fix. Or you're at work and suddenly you get laid off, no warning, nothing. Or maybe it's something smaller but still stressful. Your air conditioner dies in the middle of summer, or you end up at urgent care with an unexpected medical bill. That right there. That's exactly what an emergency fund is for. Now here's where people get confused, and I want to be really clear about this. An emergency fund is not for a vacation you've been eyeing. It's not for that amazing deal you saw online. It's not for upgrading your phone because the new model just dropped. Those are wants. Those are goals. And goals deserve their own separate savings. But that is a completely different bucket of money. Your emergency fund has one job. Just one. To protect you when life throws something unexpected your way. That's it. It's not there to make you money. It's not there to grow through investments. It's not there for fun purchases. Its entire purpose is peace of mind and protection. And here's why this distinction actually matters so much. If you keep mixing your emergency money with your fun money, or your someday money, you're going to end up in a situation where either you don't have enough when a real emergency hits, or worse, you convince yourself that a shopping spree is an emergency. Trust me, I've seen it happen more times than you'd believe. Let me give you a real example. Imagine two people, we'll call them Sarah and Mike. Sarah has $3,000 sitting in one account that she calls savings, and she uses it for everything: birthday gifts, a new laptop, occasional emergencies. Mike, on the other hand, has a separate account labeled only emergency fund, and he doesn't touch it for anything except genuine emergencies. Guess what happens when both of their cars break down the same month? Sarah panics because her savings already got spent on other things. Mike calmly transfers the money, fixes his car, and moves on with his day like nothing happened. That's the power of understanding what an emergency fund really is. It's not just about having money. It's about having the right money, set aside for the right reason. So when life gets messy, you're not scrambling. You're prepared. And once you truly understand this concept, the next question becomes, how much should you actually have in there? That's exactly what we're breaking down next. Okay, so now let's tackle something that trips up almost everyone, and I mean almost everyone, when they first start saving money. It's this idea that savings is just one big pot of money. Spoiler alert, it's not. And understanding the difference between your emergency fund and your regular savings might genuinely be the difference between staying financially stable or constantly feeling like you're starting from zero. So let's break it down simply. Regular savings. That's money you're setting aside for goals, things you're excited about, a down payment on a house, a dream trip to Bali, a wedding. Maybe you're saving up for a new laptop, or you want to start a little side business. These are all wonderful things to save for. But here's the key: they're planned. You know they're coming. You're working toward them on your own timeline. Your emergency fund, completely different animal. This money exists for the things you cannot plan for. The sudden, the unexpected, the oh no moments in life. Here's a scenario that'll make this crystal clear. Let's say you've been saving up $5,000 for a trip to Europe next year. You're excited, you've got the flights half planned in your head already. But then, out of nowhere, Your washing machine breaks down and you need $300 to fix it. If that trip money is your only savings, guess where that $300 is coming from? Straight out of your Europe fund. And now your trip is getting delayed, again. But if you had a separate emergency fund, this wouldn't even be a conversation. You'd pull the $300 from that account, fix the washing machine, and your Europe trip stays exactly on track. No stress, no guilt, no setback. This is why mixing the two is honestly one of the biggest mistakes I see people make over and over again. They think, oh, I have $2,000 saved, I'm doing great. But that $2,000 is supposed to cover both their vacation and any emergency that pops up. That's not a safety net. That's a ticking time bomb. Think of it this way. Your emergency fund is like a fire extinguisher. You don't use a fire extinguisher to light a candle for a nice dinner, right? It exists for one purpose: putting out fires when they happen. Your regular savings, on the other hand, is more like a gas tank. It's fueling you toward the destinations and goals you actually want to reach. Once you separate these two, even mentally, even before you open new bank accounts, you're going to feel an instant shift in how secure you feel with your money. You stop dreading unexpected expenses because you already have a plan for them, and your actual goals. They stay protected, touched, moving forward exactly like they should. So now that we've cleared that up, let's talk numbers. How much should actually be sitting in that emergency fund? That's coming up next. Alright, this is the question I get asked more than literally anything else. Okay, I get why I need an emergency fund, but how much do I actually need? And I love this question because the answer is simpler than most people think, but it does require a little bit of math. Don't worry, nothing scary, I promise. So here's the golden rule that financial experts have used for years. You want somewhere between 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses saved up. Not your total income. Not what you'd like to spend. Your essential expenses, the stuff that keeps your life running. Now let's actually put this into real numbers, because vague advice doesn't help anybody. Let's say your monthly essentials look something like this: rent or mortgage, groceries, utility bills, transportation, insurance, minimum debt payments. Add all of that up, and let's say it comes out to $2,000 a month. Using that 3 to 6 month rule, your emergency fund target would be somewhere between $6,000 on the low end and $12,000 on the higher end. I know, for some of you, that number might feel completely overwhelming right now. And that's okay. Take a breath. Nobody builds this overnight, and I'll get into how to build it step by step in just a bit. But first, let's understand why this specific range exists. 3 months is generally considered your minimum safety net, enough to cover you if something short-term happens, like a temporary job loss while you're job hunting, or a medical emergency that takes a few weeks to resolve. 6 months, on the other hand, is more of a stronger cushion. Ideal if you're the sole income earner in your household, if you work in an unstable industry, or if you're self-employed and your income isn't guaranteed every single month. Here's a practical example. Let's talk about two people again, Amara and Jordan. Amara works a stable government job with strong job security. For her, 3 months of expenses might genuinely be enough, because the odds of sudden income loss are pretty low. Jordan, though, is a freelance graphic designer. His income changes every single month, and there's no guarantee of steady work. For someone like Jordan, aiming closer to 6 months, or even more, makes a lot more sense, because his financial situation naturally carries more uncertainty. So here's your homework, and it's simple. Sit down, even just for 10 minutes, and calculate your essential monthly expenses. Not your total spending, just the essentials. Once you have that number, multiply it by 3, and then by 6. That range right there is your personal emergency fund target. And look, I know that number might seem far away right now, but knowing your destination is the first step to actually getting there. Once you have that target locked in, the next question becomes obvious. Where do you actually keep this money so it's safe, accessible, but still working for you a little bit? That's exactly what we're covering next. Alright, so now that you know how much to save, let's talk about something people rarely think about. Where you actually keep that money. And trust me, this matters way more than you'd expect, because keeping your emergency fund in the wrong place can actually work against you. Let's start with the mistakes first, because I think this'll make everything click faster. A lot of people keep their emergency money sitting in their regular checking account, the same account they use for daily spending, groceries, coffee runs, all of it. Here's the problem with that. When your emergency money is mixed in with your everyday spending money, it's way too easy to accidentally dip into it. You tell yourself, I'll just borrow $50 from it. I'll put it back next week. And suddenly that emergency fund quietly shrinks over time without you even realizing it. On the complete opposite end, some people make a different mistake. They invest their emergency fund in the stock market, thinking, well, if it's just sitting there, why not let it grow? And look, I get the logic, but here's the issue. The stock market goes up and down. Imagine this. The market crashes at the exact same time you lose your job. Now you need your emergency money urgently, but it's lost 30% of its value because it was tied up in investments. That's the worst possible timing, and unfortunately, it happens more often than you'd think. So what's the actual solution? A high-yield savings account. This is genuinely the sweet spot, and here's why. First, it's separate from your everyday spending account, so you're not tempted to touch it casually. Second, it's still liquid, meaning you can access it within a day or two if a real emergency hits. No waiting weeks, no penalties. And third, unlike a regular checking account that earns basically nothing, a high-yield savings account actually earns you a decent interest rate while your money just sits there safely. Let me give you a quick real-world comparison. Let's say you have $8,000 in your emergency fund. In a regular checking account, that money might earn you close to nothing over an entire year. Maybe a few cents, literally. But in a high-yield savings account, depending on current rates, that same $8,000 could earn you meaningful interest passively just for existing there. You're not doing anything extra. Your money is simply working a little harder for you in the background. And here's a bonus tip I always tell people. Open your high-yield savings account at a different bank than your main checking account. Why? Because that little bit of friction, having to transfer money between two separate banks, creates just enough of a pause to stop impulsive spending. It's not locked away, it's still accessible, but it's just inconvenient enough that you'll only touch it when it's genuinely necessary. So to summarize this in one line, keep it safe, keep it separate, and keep it earning a little something while it waits for the day you actually need it. And speaking of building this up, let's talk about how to actually start growing this fund, even if you're starting from zero right now. Okay, real talk for a second. I know that when people hear you need $6,000, $10,000, maybe $12,000 saved up, the natural reaction is panic. Your brain immediately goes, there's no way I can do that. And honestly, that reaction makes total sense. But here's what I want you to understand. Nobody, and I mean nobody, builds an emergency fund overnight. It's built one small, consistent step at a time. So let's talk about how to actually start, because starting is honestly the hardest part. First thing, forget the big scary number for a second. Instead of thinking, I need $12,000, think I need $50 this month. That's it. That's the whole mindset shift. Even $50 or $100 a month might feel small, almost pointless in the moment. But here's what people don't realize. Small consistent action beats big occasional effort every single time. A little bit, done consistently, adds up faster than you'd expect. Let's actually run the numbers so you can see this for yourself. If you save just $100 a month, that's $1,200 in a year. Keep that going for 2 years, and you're already at $2,400. Completely on autopilot, without ever feeling like you made some massive sacrifice. Now here's the real secret weapon, and this is honestly the tip that changes everything for people. Automate it. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to your emergency fund the same day your paycheck hits. Not at the end of the month when whatever's left over goes in. Because let's be honest, there's rarely anything left over at the end of the month. Pay yourself first, before spending starts eating into it. Let me give you an example. Let's say Rachel gets paid on the 1st of every month. If she waits until the end of the month to save whatever's left, she often finds there's nothing left to save at all. Bills, groceries, random expenses just eat it up. But if she sets up an automatic transfer of $150 on payday itself, straight into her emergency fund, she never even sees that money as available to spend. Out of sight, out of mind, and her fund grows steadily every single month without her having to think about it or rely on willpower. And here's something important I want you to hear. You do not need to wait until you have extra money to start. Even if you're living paycheck to paycheck right now, start with whatever feels manageable. $20, $30. It genuinely doesn't matter how small it is in the beginning. What matters is that you start and that you stay consistent. Because here's the truth about building wealth, or building any kind of financial safety. Momentum matters more than speed. Once you see that number slowly climbing, $50, then $200, then $500, something shifts psychologically. It stops feeling like a chore and starts feeling like progress you're actually proud of. So don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect amount to begin. Open that account today if you can, set up even a small automatic transfer, and let consistency do the heavy lifting for you over time. And once that fund starts growing, something even bigger starts to shift. And that's exactly what we're talking about next. Alright, so we've talked about what an emergency fund is, how it's different from regular savings, how much you need, where to keep it, and how to actually build it. But now let's talk about the part that nobody really discusses enough. The real reason this all matters. And honestly, it's got way less to do with the money itself than you'd think. See, at the end of the day, an emergency fund isn't really about having a number sitting in a bank account. It's about how that number makes you feel. It's about peace of mind. It's about being able to sleep at night without that constant, low-level anxiety about, what if something goes wrong? Let me paint you a picture. Imagine two people again, both hit with the exact same situation. Their car needs an unexpected repair costing $600. Person one has no emergency fund. What happens? They're forced to put it on a credit card with, let's say, 22% interest. Now they're not just paying $600, they're paying $600 plus interest for months, maybe even years if they only make minimum payments. That one unexpected expense just turned into a much bigger, longer-lasting problem. Now, person two has an emergency fund. Same $600 repair happens. They pull the money from their fund, fix the car, and move on with their week. No debt, no interest, no stress. Same exact emergency, completely different outcome. Completely different emotional experience. That right there is the real power of this fund. It protects your credit score, it keeps you out of the debt cycle, and it stops one bad moment from turning into months of financial struggle. But here's the part that really gets me excited to talk about. It's not just about protection. It's about the confidence it gives you to make bold decisions in life. Think about it. How many people stay stuck in jobs they genuinely hate, just because they're terrified of what happens if they quit and something goes wrong financially? How many people avoid starting that side business or taking that career leap simply because they have zero safety net beneath them? When you have an emergency fund sitting there, fully funded, something shifts in how you make decisions. You're not making choices from a place of fear anymore. You're making them from a place of security. Maybe you negotiate harder for that raise because you're not desperate to keep the job at any cost. Maybe you finally take that leap into freelancing or starting your own thing because you know you've got months of expenses covered if things start slow. That's the real magic here. This isn't just about surviving emergencies. It's about giving yourself the freedom to make life decisions based on what you actually want, not based on fear of financial collapse. So if there's one thing I want you to walk away with today, it's this: building an emergency fund isn't just a smart financial move. It's one of the most powerful acts of self-respect and self-protection you can give yourself. It's you telling your future self, I've got your back, no matter what happens. Listen, nobody plans for a crisis, but the people who win financially, they're the ones who prepared for one anyway. So don't wait for the emergency to start building your fund. Start today. $50, $100. It doesn't matter. What matters is you begin. Because your future self isn't going to remember how much you saved this month. They're going to remember that you protected them when it mattered most. Go build your safety net. Starting now.